Welcome, fellow Alliance members, to the ninth day in this. Let's look at the newspaper. What's going on here? Pretty quiet, all friends. Too silent here. Yeah, it's pretty chill and all that, you know? Indeed. Now, ooh, so the Great Lake Republic's fighting Mexico. Okay, we can look at that later on, see how that's going. Any friend reports? Not really. It is a pretty quiet day today, so there may not be a lot to go over this time, unlike most times. So, let me just speed through my research as always, because I really do not care how I perform in this and all that. But I will say, we are hopefully going to do great and all that. And I will say this, my leaders have not said this, well, my fellow officer, but I will say, if any alliance wants to challenge us, shoot this guy right here a message, Sancy Man 420. We may or may not accept it, it is up to him. But the Kingdom of Quebec is out of here. Now, so the last few days, oh, look at this, he's going for an all-outer. Okay, that is very ambitious, especially since that's stepping into Dutch America's area. But let's check over on the Cascadia thing. Now this has been one of the most insane battles. Venezuela versus Cuba. Cascadia versus Mexico. If we're going to attack diplomacy. Guys, I know I maintain a neutral stance. I try my best to maintain that, and there has been times when it does waver a little bit, but I still stay strong. Now, I decided, if you are asking for a city or map or anything like that, coalition member only. And I'm not going to be handing out supplies to y'all either. I don't know why. Cuba, Mr. Nug, yourself, you thought why I would accept that deal? Because I'm supposed to be neutral and I would be aiding someone at the end of the day. That is not what I want to do and look biased. And I don't want to use my spectatingly powers here to also sway the match in any direction. So, let's look at the Cascadia Hispanic Wave of Mexico War. So, as we can see, Cascadia has made a sub. Interesting move. Probably to counter Hispanic Nueva's pushes, but sadly, in a surprising turn of events, he has repelled the people off his land for now, which is Hispanic Nueva's troops, but he's coming again with another vicious assault. Now, it looks like Hispanic Nueva Mexico will get there first and obliterate these two motorized. He also has this artillery here too, which he's going to be using to take out San Francisco and hopefully to Medford. Now, sadly, Medford will not fall because he has the mech, so he has all of that there, but he doesn't have a fortress. So Cascadia is quickly trying to rebuild up his cities, but sadly, Hispanic Nueva Mexico will not let that happen. So as we can see here, and a surprising turn from Hispanic Nueva Mexico, he's actually going for interceptors. That is a new one for sure. Now, sadly, it looks like he's only going for militia and all that, which, you know, it is what it is. He's probably low on resources. It makes sense. But will he overcome this battle, or will he fall? That is yet to be seen, as he has yet to push him back on the Beaver and... Oh yeah, Dutch America has won the Beaver and Las Vegas front. Hispanic Nueva Mexico did get St. George early on, and I was finally using it to build up artillery. But as you can see over at Texas, he is now putting all his troops in one stack, presumably to maybe attack Dutch America. That would be truly interesting indeed. Now, Venezuela versus Cuba. This is the match. The one match we were all very surprised to see. So Cuba has been demolished by Venezuela. While Cuba is trying his best to win here, Mexico, as always, the opportunist himself, always sees an opportunity when others do not. If he sees a nation is going to fall, he tries his best to take a city. Now, will he take a city here, or will he not? That is unknown. But I will say, Mexico is very clever with this, as he only tries to take stuff that he hopefully knows other people won't get to in time. He got lucky here with La Paz, and this time, it seems like he's hoping to brute force Nueva Gerona before anyone else gets it. But we do know that with the Dreadnought, he does have a big advantage because he could potentially sink the ships that are coming through. Now, over here, Venezuela's going to have a destroyer come up here. Very interesting indeed. But Mexico, looking like a vulture, which isn't a bad thing. Being a vulture isn't a bad strategy. Picking off cities other people aren't going for. Picking off stuff you see ain't being attacked. If you can do that, you can then force your other enemies to, like, hey, do you want to fight me over one single occupied city and potentially lose a lot? Or do you want to let me have it? Either way, it is a very interesting strategy he has employed. It seems to have worked against Cascadia, but will it work against Venezuela, though? Who could be setting his sights on Nueva Gerona as a potential navy yard if he can get there in time, which it doesn't look like he will. Now, Cuba, though, is trying his best, absolute best, to hold out, but it looks like that just isn't enough, which, it happens. So I can confidently say, which I think I said yesterday, Cuba is officially out of here, especially with Mexico now ganging up on him. Now, with Venezuela, he is finally building up destroyers to counter subs. That is very good for him. He also has more heavy mechs than me. Yikes. And yeah, it's very interesting what we're seeing on all fronts here. So the artillery master with some navy supports going for Cuba. The ground master with the heavy mech defenses is keeping his homeland secure. The Panama control, though, still reigns in Mexico's hands, being a very good position to hold for him. Now, as you can see, Mexico is just churning, and churning even more artillery out for the upcoming wars, presumably, with what I'd guess, for superiority, as he knows no one else is going for any air vehicles. So no bombers, none of that, no interceptors, no scout discs, absolutely nothing, no blimps, and most importantly, he's using that to his advantage, knowing most of his opponents will be grounded. And with the power of artillery on his side, he is confirming that he has an answer to soft targets and a little bit of an answer to armored targets. Now, the only thing he knows that could beat him at this point would be armored, but he knows with his ally Texas and him combined, he could easily pull off any kind of defense he wanted to. Now, for Texas up here, he's the only other one who has a scout disc up, which, if they went toward the same part of Mexico, could be shot down. Now, as you can see here, he is building a lot of troops now. Infantry, motorized infantry, a lot of infantry with very little armor, which could be bad or could be good. Now, the glaring weaknesses in this coalition's army is no armor, but their strengths lie in their naval capabilities and their ranged advantage compared to the others. Now, Dutch America, he is, in fact, being what I could tell is, he had right away with Dutch America's right away with Mexico, it seems, and they're going to use that to their advantage right now. While Texas prepares to potentially assault him now. Does this mean that either side will beat over the other one? I do not know. But as you can see, Dutch America also has the same artillery strat in mind. He also has hunter mechs too to answer for any armored foes he may encounter. Now we can assume that this would most likely be useful against Cascadia or Venezuela, two people who have shown that they do want to use armored in their fights. Especially Venezuela now, who is going for heavy mechs or defense. That could be a very good counter. But we'll have to wait to see how that unfolds. Now up here, Dutch America and the Freemasons Lodge of America is fighting over the First Nation League to see whoever gets to occupy it first. Now it looks like Dutch America had to pull out due to him taking some losses, and because of that, he is, in fact, not going to be able to take it, unlike Freemasons Lodge America. So, the Freemasons Lodge saw his opportunity where Dutch got weakened by the North, and because of that, he knew both would be weakened and swooping in to take it now. Now, this is going to be very interesting as this heats up, as I'm still assuming Dutch America will try to go for Russian America, but if he does not secure the province of Gameti, he will not be able to do that easily without turning his infantry into airborne targets to take out Russian America. Cascadia still pushing us away from Mexico, while Texas and Mexico playing very passively now while building up, while Freemasons Lodge and Dutch America still playing aggressively. And Venezuela doesn't like to quiet, but he's always prepared for any kind of attack. Presumably, an attack from Mexico, which we are surprised he is not prepped to try to take Panama. So we can assume that he is happy with the way that has fallen. So far, Mexico has cleverly done this. He has taken the city of La Paz, California from Cascadia in the early starts of this war, like 4 days ago. Then, in a war between Gran Colombia and Venezuela, he took the Panama City, granting him control of the Panama Canal. And now again, he's showing his smarts by taking Nueva Corona. So as we can see, he loves focusing on Navy cities, maybe to build up subs, but he's not doing that right now. Instead, he's holding them as nice little peaks of information. For here, he'll know if anyone tries to slip into here by any means to potentially attack Las Mochis, Hermosillo, and all that, which would allow him to know if Hispanic of Mexico is being attacked. And he also has control of the Panama Canal, which will let him know if Hispanic Nueva Mexico or Cascadia is going to be moving troops around into the Gulf of Mexico or past that. And now it looks like he's going to try to take control of Nueva Granada, which will give him some sight on to Cuba, hopefully on to Havana, which will soon fall to Venezuela. And with that, he'll have some good eyes. Now, if he could pull this out into his favor, he could put a scout back here, and in La Paz, and then effectively control if troops are coming through the south of the Gulf of Mexico, through the Panama Canal, and near La Paz. Very interesting strat by Mexico, where he does not want to keep all cities landlocked, not landlocked per se, but connected to his land. But it could pay out really, really big in the upcoming fights of this war. Now, as you can see here, he's also went after Florida, realizing Cuba is just weak, which is very, very interesting. And now the Freemasons Lodge is actually going to be also pushing back Cuba to take out all of Florida. Very interesting strategy indeed. Now, as you can see, he also has right away with Mexico. So yeah, as we can see, the powerhouses still remain as we look here. The Hades is halfway to victory. Bannock is going down while Hayes is going up, and USA is staying still. Now, if we look out over here in the newspaper, first place is Mexico, second is Dutch America, third is the Freemasons Lodge America, fourth is Texas, and fifth is Venezuela. Those are the current top 5 competitors. And as you can see, Cuba has been losing troops left and right. So yeah, we can only hope that these will go very well, as the Great Lake Republic did actually go for an interesting strategy here, going for a lot of interceptors. Very intriguing indeed. But guys, that will wrap up this daily video from our Alliances match. I can't wait to see what y'all pull out next on tomorrow. Until then, we'll keep you updated on the Cascadian Wars and the Venezuelan Wars. Bye!